I'm hearing it now to the tune of Technologic.
Yep.
It's like tootin', tootin', no Rasputin. Tootin', tootin', no Rasputin for not brewing, going blue and broom.
Welcome to Fort Brewers. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I'm joined by
Jason Harris
and Greg Nagel.
And we're joined once again for the last time.
For show.
Hopefully not ever. With Kip and Brian from Los Angeles Aleworks.
Hey.
Hello. No, they're coming back next time.
Huh?
No, they'll be back next time.
Okay.
One other time. We'll have them back. We'll have to go out to the brewery is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
We'll do...
we got the Louis Pasteur.
Well, that's been a whole thing,
Langatorium.
right? Like, you have this awesome, like, media, like, I guess it's an event room inside the brewery?
Yeah, it's like a little conference room called the Louis Pasteur Loungatorium.
You have like an arcade
yeah.
thing, like a machine in there. We can play different video games, and it's like isolated from the brewery, and there's like a cool conference table, and it's a really cool vibe.
It's the hot chicks room.
We will go there one day and like do mini shows from your brewery.
Yeah, if you're ever in the area.
We'll do a champagne show in the champagne room at LA Works.
The Brute IPA room.
That's
Just
right.
have to correct you there.
Get all my alpha amylase ready.
There is no sex in the Brute IPA room.
So we're going to start with a beer from LA Works. This is your Slope Shake. Is this a new beer?
Yeah, we actually just canned it yesterday, which maybe we dating ourselves. But
yesterday being a month ago at this point.
Exactly.
At the point of consumption, it was one day
1/18/19.
There you go.
Anyway, it's a milkshake IPA with raisins, marshmallow, and vanilla and lactose. And it's we put oats in it.
It's a hazy beer.
we go back and forth between using flaked wheat, flaked rye, and flaked oats, and this one is an oat beer. The sort of vibe was supposed to be oatmeal cookie.
Hence the raisins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, raisins, why?
Yeah.
But all right.
What's the raisin for that?
What's the raisin? What's your raison d'etre?
Trying to raisin hell.
We got this beer that we really like called Raisin Tetra, and
Yeah, it's we use our house hazy yeast. I always think it's funny when people say house yeast.
Hazy yeast.
Our yeast is we use tropical IPA from Omega, which is also called Sactois. You might get a little bit of vanilla fleck in there, so don't be scared.
Sactois is one of my favorite beer terms.
Yeah.
Sactois.
I love this label, by the way, just because of all the white. Like, it looks so clean.
Wow.
That looks really nice.
wow.
And it's what are those called?
Cans?
No, the thing
Snow.
when you're going to go up to the top
The
of the
ski
mountain.
lift?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's not a ski lift. It's
Skilaufen?
something else, but
A mountain.
yeah. It's a cool label. Anyway, I'll shut up.
I think ski lift is a term.
It's not a ski lift though. Ski lift like has a bench you sit on, and your feet are hanging off, and then you jump off of it when you get to the top.
Gondola?
Of the mountain.
What is it?
a
Gondola.
Oh,
yeah, it's
there
kind of
it
like a
is.
gondola.
It's a gondola, goddammit.
Gabagoo. Have some gabagoo on the
The
gabagoo.
ones at Disneyland that went through the Matterhorn a long time ago.
Yeah.
The Skyway.
Yeah.
It looks
tram.
really. It's
It was a
cool,
tram.
very clean looking can. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you know what the street value of this mountain is?
So the yeast, this beer is pretty dry for a milkshake IPA.
Yeah, it doesn't smell over like a sweet, sugary bomb.
This is
No.
not what I expected on the nose at all. Like,
got on the nose. Like, if you would have told me nothing, like, I wouldn't have pulled. When you said sort of all those ingredients, you know, those tear off packets of like Quaker Oats with like the cinnamon sugar with the raisins in it. That's kind of what I was expecting on the nose, but it smells like an IPA with notes of some things in there that are sweet.
it's those things that I can't put my finger on. Like, what is? It's kind of like a spicy
Baking spice, a little bit. No,
That's different.
feels like we're going in blind.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about this yeast is it produces, a lot of
I know what I'm
mango,
going for.
pineapple, and orange. And that's kind of the predominant flavor that it produces all the time.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Like
most-
if you said the brewery's horchata sort of on the flavor, but not on the nose. It smells like an IPA on the nose, but the flavor is all sort of like this horchata.
So you're saying it's
vibe.
like an IPA in the streets and a horchata in the sheets?
Yeah. That's right.
Raisin's kind of hard to pick out of it, but I feel like I get it in the finish as kind of like more of like a dark fruit finish.
Where were the raisins added?
Into the fermenter.
Okay.
So I put 30 pounds of raisins in a 20
Have you ever
barrel
just served
fermenter.
it with like little raisins floating in?
We were
and just-
thinking about having like when you do nitro cans, there's a nitro doser. We were going to try to build a raisin doser for each can, as it just drops a little raisin into each can.
Do you have to like crush the raisins or just
No,
put
we
them
just
in whole?
we just threw them in whole.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes these ingredients we add, like we don't have any idea. Well, most of the time, have no idea how they're going to turn out. So I don't always want to like pulverize them to a crazy amount before we find out if maybe the whole version is going to be good enough. But
Or like blowtorch them like Lost Abbey does with one of their beers.
oh, do they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really looking for a super toasted flavor. I just wanted some of that fruit flavor. And then obviously, marshmallows are just sugar, so I put that in the boil.
Yeah, what was at the Cask Beer Festival? that we're
Transplants.
at? Transplants. They primed a cask with marshmallows.
It was
and it
pretty
actually
good.
worked really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
even fucking Annie Black, who hates everything, was like, "Yeah, it's really well done."
Wouldn't that be cool if there was like a fruit that grew into raisins?
That would be cool.
And you can make wine from that same fruit too.
Yeah, like a fruit that
Yeah.
turned into wine.
maybe beer. No,
Make a sauterne out of it.
it's got that milkshake vibe without it being like too like over the top, like fructose.
Yeah,
Like-
it's not overly aggressive sweet.
Fruit sweet. Like I like that because I get the style. Like I understand what they're going for, and I don't like it. It's fine for what it is.
I don't like the milkshake IPAs either, and this I actually do like. I do pull that cookie character out, the vanilla. Once you mention it, but like it's still an IPA. It's not a dessert.
You did a
know?
good job on nailing like a nice sweet taste, but still finishing dry with a good mouthfeel. That's really good.
I think it's the talent of a good brewer to put notes of things in a beer and not have it be the thing. You know what I mean? Where they're like,
You didn't
"Here, this
just
beer
buy-
has mango," and it's like fucking, it's like mango juice.
You didn't just buy oatmeal cookie extract from a supplier and
From
pour it in.
Amaretti.
Yeah,
It's not
Still
like
though,
it,
on the
mate.
nose though, it doesn't smell like an oatmeal cookie. It's a different thing, and I still can't put my finger on it. But I guess it's like an overall like acidic citrus smell, like a maybe not piffy, but kind of orange peel.
You're
kind of
you're
thing.
smelling the yeast.
Is-
Yeah,
okay.
the Sactois yeast does this. It's it's the main. Like a lot of people that are drinking our beers, or I think Alvarado Street also uses this yeast. They think that they're smelling the hops, but they're really smelling the yeast. And something that's really special about this yeast is it makes a really high amount of whatever ester that's adding this like sort of citrusy flavor to it. So when you sit on a can for a while in the fridge.
Not in your butt.
Yeah. And you let it.
chug
Not to say that we ask people to age these beers,
Sit on this can
because I'm
for
always
me.
weirded out when brewers ask people to age their beers.
So
but,
am I.
Yeah, especially when it's like a IPA or something. If a brewer is giving you something that's not ready, it's not ready, and that's kind of. But for these beers, the shelf life is a little bit longer, and because Sactois is a diastaticus yeast, it's like a saison, so it continuously is eating all of the sugars available to it.
Even lactose?
It doesn't eat lactose. That's the one thing it doesn't eat. So, but
It's so weird. If I was like yeast, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, this lactose, bro. It's so good."
yeah,
else would you do?
Have
It's
you tried the
lactose. Yeast
Greg,
is
what else would you do if
lactose.
you were a yeast?
Yeah,
Eat sugar
beer yeast
all
is
day.
lactose
and
intolerant.
fart CO2,
Run for
make
president.
alcohol.
But it kind of creates its own little environment in the can, and it scrounges all the rest of the oxygen, and
Eats the can.
Yeah, the beer lasts a lot longer, I think.
I mean, it's not
Changes a little
encouraged
bit.
like to drink hazy IPAs in general 2 months after they were canned or bottled. But I mean, you look at someone like Joe Senegalia, Joe's Arcade on YouTube, where he doesn't intentionally drink old hazy IPA. He just has so many that people send him that they just stack up in his fridge. And he finds that they hold up well and sometimes get better. when they got like at least a month or two on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a trend that he noticed that for the most part is positive. So I get it. Like, you're not going to encourage people to sit on this for a few weeks, but you're not going to tell them not to, because it might help the beer like become something else that's a little bit better or maybe different. So
For sure.
Yeah, I pulled some like ripe papaya out of the nose as well. And that's probably the sack.
Yeah, I think overall it's a very fruity nose.
Shacky.
Yeah, we most of the beers we make are on the hop side of things. Like, we're dry hopping them with Idaho 7 or Mosaic or El Dorado or Laurel. We're doing a lot of these big, heavy, like aromatic hops, Citra. So they taste a lot more like an IPA, and this is the sweeter version of it. And I'm more of a fan of the hoppier, like aromatically hoppier versions of the beer, because I think the yeast and the hop character plays really well together. And these are really popular just with our crowd, and it gets us to experiment with different ingredients that we tend to decide to use in the sour side of things too.
Did you get any input from other breweries on brewing this style, or did you just kind of jump in and go?
No, actually, the very first beer that we ever brewed was called Holiday in Troy, of this like sort of hazy style, and it was a collaboration with Trademark Brewing, who's opening in Long Beach. So he's not open yet, but that has kind of been like an ongoing collaboration, like sort of series with them. We make it every once in a while. We canned it like a couple months ago, and he's a very talented brewer, and we're excited for him to open, and it's kind of been one of those things where he's been trying to open for a while, but we've been like really good friends for the whole time. So he's come out and helped brew a bunch of stuff, and is we spitball ideas off each other. So it's a good relationship, and I'm happy that we tried this beer, because we didn't want to do the Conan, Vermont, London thing that everyone else is doing, not because we don't like those beers, but just because we want to kind of do something a little bit different. And so this style of hazy beer has been a little bit difficult for us to, convince people like this is what our hazy beer tastes like. And finally we're like, I think we're there with a lot of our customers. They get it. They're like, okay, this is what LA Ale Works like hazy beers or juicy beers taste like. And I think like we kind of have that house flavor with those beers, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really cool when breweries can get that, like, this tastes like LA Ale Works. Like, the brewery is another brewery like that. Again, I smell their bottles, and I can smell the brewery on their freshly bottled bottles of beer. Like, it's really cool. So overall, it's a great beer. I look forward to not buying this, because I'm not going to go all the way out to Horrent. No, it is my style.
Oh, okay.
But I just can't make it out there to buy the beer. So,
well, I'll leave you with some.
It's a great beer, though.
We're not buying it because we got
Windsor
it for
has
free.
it.
The Perfect Crime. Ew.
Windsor? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Windsor
The
was
Buttress of Windsor?
Yeah, a shitload of
I've got that
LA
too.
works there.
That's their beer.
The Buttress.
The Buttress of Windsor.
Oh, shit.
He brought it.
Mind freak.
You want to open it?
Not really. We got to finish in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, Greg's gotta
leave.
go.
No, I can stay a little bit later.
So we're going to move on to some beers that were sent to us from Josh out of Virginia. He hit me up on Facebook Messenger and said,
out.
hey, I've been a fan for a while, and I want to send you some beers, and that he did. I did an unboxing of these beers on YouTube if you want to check that out. It's on our YouTube page, our YouTube channel. But we're going to start off with a beer called Battle Creek. These are all from Triple Crossing Brewing Company out of, I think they're from, hold on, let me look. Richmond, I want to say. Yeah, Richmond, Virginia. We kind of picked the best of the bunch in regards to their rating on Untapped and also their ABV. So we have...
And they do have like super highly rated beers on Untapped.
For the most part,
and
yeah.
it's either A, the beers are really good, or B, they have a lot of hype
pretty good
behind them. Yeah.
Yeah. And he sent us all IPA variants.
I've heard that area is
So-
actually pretty strong for beer. Richmond.
Is that where Stone opened up?
I don't know, but I know
Richmond,
that-
Virginia?
I want to
Sounds
say
familiar, yeah.
I think
that
it
sounds
is.
right. Yeah, I think it is Richmond.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to.
That small scrappy brewery.
Yeah,
That really tiny
Exactly.
one. That really tiny one that's in Escondido.
right. That's the one. the Arrogant Consortia.
So yeah, this is Battle Creek. It's an 8% ABV double IPA, and they call it a juicy hop bomb, and dry hopped with Mosaic. So
All right. I like me some Mosaic.
it should be right up our alley. I love Mosaic. The
Melon-
top shelf Mosaic, by the way,
Yeah,
not your
I think so.
shitty
not the,
LA
I get the peaches and the melon, and not so much of the.
The field clippings.
Yeah,
Oh wow, that smells really good.
yeah.
Holy moly, Greg,
Si, senor.
where's the bell, man?
Sorry. I like to scare people with it.
Don't apologize. Own it.
You take that haze and shove it.
Take your ways and shoot it.
So, super like fruity, danky, like really deep, like hop aroma on this beer.
Yeah, really. The nose is super tropical.
Mm.
You get that real like dank finish too.
I hate when they, on their description, it says it's dry hopped with hundreds of pounds of Mosaic. That doesn't mean anything without scale. Like in a
Context.
5-gallon batch, that's really too much. But like, or you made a 1,000,000-gallon batch. I don't know. Like, give me context.
Context matters, as Twitter would say.
We used 100 pounds of coffee and 7,000 gallons.
Well, the thing about a hazy beer, like we've always stumbled on this on our show, is when we're doing back-to-back hazy beers, we're just like, there's a checklist of things that you're looking for in your head, and then does it check all those boxes? This pretty much does.
To go in John's categorization, though, this doesn't ring to me like your New York, New England hazy IPA. It doesn't have that sweetness to it. It's got a big bitter hop presence.
Bitter finish.
And I say in a good way. I really like this beer.
I like the nose on it a lot. It's very reminiscent of like melon. I don't know. It's
Melon's a good call, and
Yeah.
I think also the I'm getting like a woody character on the finish, sort of like a malt woodiness, nutty woody. I don't know, like those
Malt woody.
like woodiness.
Huh. No, I don't understand that at all.
All right,
It's
balsa wood.
It's almost like a tannic character, right?
Yeah,
You're
it's
talking
got some
about?
hop
Yeah.
tannin in there. Maybe like have you ever gotten those like small balsa wood airplanes where you put the
And then
rubber band
eaten 'em?
and then you just like taste that wood? Balsa wood.
I just
It's got a
imagine
balsa wood
Greg with one of
character
those
to it.
planes that you had the rubber band and it just spins around. And it's like
Exactly.
Oh.
I taste everything though, so I'm like,
it's like it's a beer and toy pairing.
I have that note.
Just like chewing on
This has
pieces of
notes of-
plastic and
this coaster has notes of Rasputin on it.
If you guys are gonna do beer
It's
and
a
toy
little cardboardy.
pairing,
Yeah.
beer and toy pairing, your Russian attack with those little parachute army.
oh
men.
yeah.
yeah.
He brought
There you
that too.
I did.
I know.
You should dry hop a beer with those. Just
I mean,
put hot
if
pellets.
we,
man.
if we
thing.
can, we can do it.
Plastic
We can do
ones.
like a
We
Patreon only
gotta
episode.
we gotta cut a hole in the ceiling so we can actually fire them up into the sky and have them parachute down into the dry hopping port.
You'd have to raise your donation on Patreon.
Yeah.
To make
Yeah,
that
yeah, for
happen.
sure.
So
For the launch, just be like,
Get them on a SpaceX launch. Just
who
sneak them
here
on.
wants some cans of beer? They're like, woo, and they're just like t-shirt cannon of parachute army men,
Yeah.
and they just
I would say make an air rifle and convert it to shoot hot pellets. So you're like
a pellet gun just with hot pellets.
just hot pellets in it. Oh man, that'd be the best hot gun.
Get away from my brewery. We're closed, but I need some whales. Oh,
Yeah, everybody, there's a bunch of food contests coming up here. I think we should do a hop pellet eating contest.
Oh Jesus Christ,
That would be good.
Have you done one of those?
No,
That'd be like when people.
We used to always make people
so
do that
bad.
when they would come over when we were homebrewing. We would make them eat a hop.
yeah,
And they're like, you bastard.
That's like the
but I
cinnamon
mean, that
challenge.
would be
where they
that
have
would be
the-
a hard
that.
challenge. This guy gets through a pound of hops. It'd be like, you win.
That's got to be dangerous.
Can you imagine he'd
way.
take a dump like an elephant? Like just
flies out of your butt. Just
would
pops to
just
the
be
ground.
green.
Yeah, it just looks like Trub.
Little trub cookie.
That
Yeah,
brings
yeah.
me to my new invention that I thought of the other day: the ass randle. It's like butt chugging, but it's
my
ass
God.
randling, where
can't
you
believe this is
have
coming up.
yeah, it's like you've heard of butt chugging. Now
Boofing.
try the ass randle. It's where you have like you ate a pound of hops, and then the beer goes in, and you ass randle it, and there you go.
It
Wait,
sounds like a Brazilian movie.
wait. So you eat a pound of hops,
Yeah.
and then immediately Randall through the ass.
Yeah, then you butt chug a beer, and then you ass Randall it with the hops.
This is fourth show
But-
territory. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't wait for it to like digest.
No,
and-
yeah, you gotta wait.
People
But why
always
don't you just
assume
hook, why
I'm
don't you just
the-
hook up the normal Randall and just put the out up your butt? And then everybody else can cut the dirty part of it off and
everyone's doing
enjoy the
that.
beer. Oh, okay. All right.
Everybody assumes I'm the mal
You gotta pack your
aligned
colon.
person on the show, but I think we have a new contender.
Jason's pretty dark.
A new contender has just
Why?
entered the ring.
Some ass Randall.
Ass randling? Yeah, that's fucking wow, man. I
What would
never
you
knew.
call it? Like
Ass
Dogfish is called Randall the enamel animal.
And you know what? No. You can go ahead and opt out on that one. Ass Randall,
It's all
Rectal
about
destroyer.
branding, dude. So
Jeez.
you're
The
missing the
donkey
boat.
Randall.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to package and sell it first, but it's more of a recreational activity at this point.
All right, so up next,
Coffee randling.
another. I'm assuming this is a hazy. I don't know if these are all hazies, by the way, but
Don't ring the bell yet.
yeah, don't ring the bell yet. This is a Space Falcon, which is Galaxy dry hopped. It's 7%. Space Galaxy, get it?
Falcon.
Space Galaxy. And
He also sent us.
it's pretty hazy, man.
Looks like it's gone a little.
Your neighbors are like, what the fuck happens over there?
No, my neighbors don't care.
I mean, there's bells and people yelling hazy.
We need a dance hall horn.
And Rasputin.
What's a dance?
We need, air horn.
Rasputin.
You want me to buy an actual air horn
No,
for the studio?
I just want that sound effect
Much
on the board. when we get
sharper
it.
hop
Okay.
aroma on this one.
This is apparently their flagship. Their flagship.
Flag shop.
What's your
What's your flagship? Welcome to the flag shop. We got all kind of flags. We got German flags. We got German war flags. We got those other German war flags in the back, if you ask nicely. Well, of course, we don't carry those kind of things if you don't want them, but if you want them, we got them.
Hashtag MAGA.
Every flag store is just got Nazi flags in the back.
Yikes.
Flag stores are racist.
They have to carry everything. It is their business.
It's a false flag.
Raise a red flag on that one. Yeah, this brewery definitely has a house character to their hazies.
I get a lot of raisin right in the middle. I don't know what that is, but that's what my palate's going
I
towards.
do get like a weird sweet flavor
Yeah.
in the mid palate. It's
Does this
What's
have
the ABV
lactose
on
in
this
it
one?
all, or
I was thinking the same thing.
It does not say.
Seems like there's some
Some of the
Either-
sweet component to this.
either they
I don't know. It's,
cold crashed it early or
I would think
added lactose.
honestly outside of the
ABV
sweet,
Kip.
the sweet character makes it kind of
7.
hard
7?
to want to drink a lot of it. Like I like the hop presence, I like the hop profile,
But the Moorishness is not.
but
not
the
there.
Moorishness.
there's a cloyingness to it that makes it hard to
But Randall.
hard to want to keep going back.
this
Yeah.
also has that gritty.
ass randling,
Sorry.
butt chug, ass randle.
This also has like a gritty mineral like
Richard the Rectal Ratifier.
It's good.
That's
It's armpit randled.
what?
I don't know.
Just dumping beer in your body at this point. Lick it off.
Just lick it off. It's like if you drank a gallon of hazy IPA and then went for a run, how your sweat would be.
Mm.
It's very,
I can do that.
I think this thickness is like what people that are searching for these beers are looking for. I mean,
Yeah, this has
this
that-
has a monkish flavor to it. You know, I think the body is like where it needs to be, but it has that like sweetness to it. Like I don't. Did you guys try Space Cookie from Monkish?
no.
Nope.
That's one of the recent ones they put out, and this one reminds me a little bit of Space Cookie. That was actually
Same hops though, right?
We called in
Yeah.
as many homie hookups as we felt was okay at Monkish, and then we just gave up because we're not going to wait in lines on Tuesday. So
Yeah.
This has a mineral like gritty mouthfeel for me, and I think that's a flaw in this style. And this totally has it, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
it gets to a point.
graininess. You're 100% right. It's common in when I did a homebrew. It was a problem with it. That kind of gritty, grainy feel in the beer.
The next level of that is when it burns the back of your throat because it's just too much. It's like a hop, like weird mineral.
Get some Scoville.
Scoville.
Is that a? Do you think that's a water thing, or you think that's a malt thing, or?
When I did it, it was definitely a water thing. Like I was treating my water to try to chase the mouthfeel, and I kind of got it, but it ended up being kind of gritty.
I feel like it might actually be a byproduct of the yeast too, because I noticed that in a lot of the Conan Vermont strain hazy beers when they have this, and I wonder if it's just something that yeast is doing like during fermentation.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
I don't know.
The Philadelphia Flyers mascot, Gritty.
Gritty's my dude.
Bad joke, dude. Dad jokes. Anyway,
it's the new quad from Firestone, Dad Bod Quad.
Dad Bod Quad. Is that really?
Yeah, it's the name of the beer.
No fucking way.
Yeah, no, seriously. I think it's a fun name.
That's a rad name.
Of course,
Hashtag Dad Bod. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm Dad Bod.
Yeah.
You're the poster child for Dad Bod.
I would be interested to try these beers next to the Monkish beers and kind of get a feel for it. They're very similar in mouthfeel, texture, approach, hops.
I don't know
To your
about that.
memory.
No?
No, you'd be.
It's been a long time since I've had
big
one.
old messy, like pot of haze that it just all melts.
Just
together.
blend them together.
I'm not talking shit on Monkish at all, but I mean,
Pot of haze is in
this
my
beer wasn't
mouth.
bad either. It was just like it didn't like it
Honestly,
has that.
I feel
grit
like
to
it suffered based on the first beer, which was much better. Like the first beer was a much better beer, so the second one paled comparatively.
Do you feel that like these beers, they're so like they're focused on being so much in the middle of like everything?
They're trying to crowd pleasers.
Well, it's not that. It's just like they want to be like this like medium big body, and everything just kind of mixes together in the middle, and it's really hard to pull out like specific elements to it. Whereas if you're drinking like a Pilsner, you're like, I feel like you're able to really fine tune what you're tasting.
Yeah, we've always said there's a thing called the hop schmear where it's just like you take a bunch of your favorite colors in the color wheel spectrum, and then you just make brown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so all the hazy
aroma on this
IPAs,
one
they'll
is
be like,
really-
"Oh, this is Mosaic, Citra, and Galaxy."
This
You're
is
like,
my favorite
wow,
one
it
so
tastes
far.
kind of like a hazy IPA, and they're like, "This one is Centennial and Simcoe and freaking Yukonaut," and you're like, "Wow, it tastes
smells
just like
like
the
hops.
other one."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first beer, Battle Creek, that was a standout beer. The second one had that definite
Perfumey.
hop schmear. Like it was definitely
What's
muddled.
What is this third beer
This
called?
is Galaxy Triangles. This is a 6% IPA,
super perfumey.
and it is indeed
Really
hazy.
like it.
Greg,
Yeah, I think actually now tasting this one,
I think Greg has hazy Bell's palsy.
tasting this one now I like because this one to me doesn't have nearly the bitter finish that the last one did, but I wasn't thinking that when I was tasting the last one. But by comparison, this is far smoother to drink.
Well, the hop aroma is way more up front and in the flavor
is.
too, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just kind of throughout.
It's a better
This-
balanced beer than the last
This
one
beer
was,
is
for
single
sure.
hop Galaxy and 6%.
It's kind of got this pineapple upside down cake
Maybe
sort of
the-
vibe to it.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
for
the
sure.
that I'm digging
It's a
too.
it's a really good description.
Yeah,
I just had pineapple upside down cake at
Dude.
Firestone.
for the first time in my life. It was the first time I've ever had that cake.
Yeah, I was
So-
like, "What is this little thing
I
with the
get
cherry?" And
that
they're like,
now.
"Pineapple upside down cake." I'm like, well,
I've heard-
it is upside down.
I've heard those terms before, but I've never actually had
so
the cake.
you,
It's really
Kip,
good.
you've never had that either?
No, I mean, not that I can remember.
Wow, two
That's
people in
amazing.
the same room. That have you, Brian?
I'm not a
never
pastry
had-
enthusiast, despite
You
being
are
a big fat
missing
ass.
out. It's so good.
It's a good cake.
I've had pineapple cake like from like Asian bakeries, but it's never
No,
been
this
like
is-
No,
different, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
totally different vibe. You get
Yeah.
more of the caramelization
Yeah.
of pineapple in that.
Huh.
I've definitely
which I kinda
seen
pull out
pictures
of
of it
there.
before, but nobody in my family growing up ever made anything like that.
I think Yvonne's made
I'm gonna
that
have
a couple
to buy it
times.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
This beer has flaked wheat, flaked oats, and malted wheat.
That was all the
You
wheats.
pass me the can again, Kip,
So if you're
please.
wheat intolerant, holy shit!
Thanks, John.
So
Yeah,
I
this
really
does-
like this beer though.
Does not have that grit.
Flaked
Like,
wheat,
no
flaked oats, and malted wheat. You said,
yeah,
flaked wheat is I've found a lot more success in using that to maintain like a real white haze in these beers. I like using it a lot more than the oats just by themselves.
Why is that?
I'm not sure. I think it's I don't know. It must be the protein content is just a little bit different. I like the flavor, the ending flavor. I was talking to Amy over at Arrow Lodge, and she was saying that she puts in like a half bag of flaked wheat in some of her IPAs just to increase the head retention instead of using like Carafoam or other stuff like that. And she's had a lot of success with that. So we've tried that, and then the hazy beers we use flaked rye, we'll use flaked oats, and we'll use flaked wheat. We also use golden naked oats, which I love. I don't know if you guys
That
ever
sounds
use that.
super kinky.
Golden naked oats. It's one of my favorite malts. Simpsons.
It's like a golden
really, really
shower.
good.
And
golden
they're
naked oats.
and then
Yeah, oats. They're like
There's
dehusked. They're like kind of like a caramel color, and they have like a little bit of
hey
a toast
baby,
to
it's
it.
golden naked oats.
Yeah.
I'm dehusked for you, golden naked.
Man, I'm glad.
just do a Tinder
glad
profile
there's
for
not
that
not,
for that
not
malt.
a camera under the table.
Oh,
yet.
Go on Tinder and
Hear
do
the
a
hazy
profile
bells
for
start
that.
ringing.
Yeah.
It's like naked oats.
I'd swipe left on it.
Fourth show,
whatever
fourth
that
show.
means.
Yeah, this is good beer.
Yeah,
Fourthest
I'm gonna
show
finish
of
it.
all.
Agreed.
Especially at 6%, like it's like a crushable hazy,
Yeah.
I think.
I love
It's well done.
beers at this alcohol level
Same.
in this genre.
What do you think
You know
about
what's funny
Everyone's
is? It
done-
says on their summary, as always, 6% ABV. I don't know if that's like their thing.
This
But
was canned
it's a-
November 1st, by the way.
Wow.
Nice.
So that just shows,
Damn.
like we talked about earlier, these beers can hold up. Like,
Yeah.
I
you
think
know.
that the shelf life thing is a pseudoscience thing that was perpetuated and
By the same guys who are
Yeah.
like, the shelf life is 1 hour and they're made with mostly pizza fucking oat flour. And I don't even know why people like them.
and then the guy next to them is like, "Yeah, I'm going to tell all my friends that."
Why don't we just have brown ales?
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the acidity of this beer? It's got a nice brightness to it.
acidity?
Yeah, it's not some other beers of the style can come off as like flabby and like
Yeah, I think overall
well-rounded.
this beer, especially in comparison to the others, is far more balanced. And I think that some of that is, I think it tastes to me cleaner. I guess would be the way I would say it.
it's got a brightness to it.
A brightness,
I feel
yeah.
like Galaxy beers, Galaxy
Nourishness.
focused beers tend to not be as like aggressively hoppy. They have a good character to them, but they're not as
Because nobody wants.
They're not as whorish.
Galaxy.
they're not as challenging as some of the other hop varietals, I think. Galaxy tends to be, I don't know, more agreeable was a weird word to describe.
Galaxy is such a whorish hop.
Yeah, just
What?
a
What?
village bicycle of a hop.
That's an office joke.
Don't
It's
shame.
it's going to offend any whores that come
That's an
by.
office joke.
Yeah,
Softer than 10 ply
green is
plushness.
whorish.
Okay, well, I don't know about that, Greg. That no,
Mm.
No,
no.
that is an office joke.
Can you spill a bowl of chili?
If I was on The Office, I would be Kevin on the show. That's for sure.
No, you'd be Creed.
Ooh, I like
You
the
would
name
be-
of this beer.
You would be Creed. So the next
Jurassic,
beer,
Jurassic Park reference.
yeah, it's called Clever Girl, and there's a dinosaur on the label.
Cool.
Which dinosaur?
Did you guys see my Jurassic
Velociraptor.
Park?
Triceratops.
There you go.
My Jurassic Park cosplay for Halloween.
I did not.
You didn't? You didn't see?
Was it one of those inflatable T-Rex
Oh yeah,
costumes?
you guys were all from Jurassic Park. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the dude with the soda can.
I was a big fat guy, and then
Shut up, Jason.
as in life, and then Sarah was fucking John Hammond. She had like a fake beard and everything. It was pretty.
She looked
amazing.
really
She
good.
looked great.
And then Aiden he wanted to just wear an inflatable T-Rex costume all day, but we're like, you can't do that all day. We're going to a Comic-Con, and so he was also dressed like the kid, the little kid who got electrocuted.
Yeah.
I went to school with him, Joe Mazzello.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in my dorm.
wasn't he in the Pacific? The show,
He was in the River Wild. I don't know if he was in the Pacific.
the Pacific. I think he was in it when he grew up.
I didn't follow his IMDb past the dorm days.
Just the Pacific was good.
Jason, I liked your costume, and I totally got it when I saw it.
Thanks,
It was
man.
great. So,
Appreciate that.
Don't.
I was Dennis Nedry, the computer guy. He was.
didn't say the magic
It's
word.
all his fault.
John Hammond said he spared no expense, but Nedry was disgruntled because he was underpaid and under-resourced. So
Oh.
apparently he spared some expense on IT. Maybe you shouldn't.
But it's possible he would have never been happy, no matter how much money.
That's true. He could have just been an asshole.
Yeah.
Wow.
Much like
He
Jason.
did
Clever,
get eat-
such a clever girl.
He did get eaten by a dinosaur. Same as
This
but
one
same
kinda-
as John Hammond.
This one's kind of going back to the previous ones we had before the Galaxy. I feel like the aroma is not as intense.
I get some green character
nice,
out of it.
though. I like the aroma.
Like tomato leaf.
Tomato leaf.
I get a
Tomato
lot of
leaf?
hot rum on this one.
Come on, Greg. Tomato leaf?
Fuck yeah, man.
It's a Citron
That
Mosaic,
is a
which is
smell.
right in my
I'll
wheelhouse.
give him that.
It's a very
I get a little
distinct
bit
smell.
of.
It is. I don't get it.
I get a
on
little bit
this
of
beer,
squirrel tail on the finish.
I shut my eyes and
Fucking Greg Vaynerchuk over here. Jesus Christ.
that's what popped in my head.
Smells like slate.
Have you guys ever smelled corn cob hair? That's what I get.
Corn cob hair. That's a good call.
Fuck you, Greg.
That is the best descriptor. Corn cob hair.
It's silt, right? What is that called?
Is that what it's called?
Corn.
Corn
silt.
cob hair? I don't know.
It's got a little Wheeler Coche on the nose.
I'm gonna call it corn cob hair.
Wait, what the fuck is that?
It's another corn reference.
It just sounds like some Spanish
I get a bit
perverted
of
word.
fieldy on the nose.
Well, the American version of
A little bit of got the
Wheeler
life.
Coche is
Are you guys getting
Corn
any bofa in this?
some Bank of America.
Some bofa these nuts on your chin?
Oh, God.
Smells a lot like ligma. Ligma balls.
We're sorry, Triple Cross.
Yeah, we're not getting that retweet.
As I'm smelling it
We
more,
never do.
We got bamboozled by Triple Cross.
yeah, we just don't count on a retweet.
We're not
We're
getting
lucky they make it about like halfway
So
through
we
the
Heard our beers
podcast.
were had on the podcast, but they were talking about butt randles.
Yeah, let's check this out. These guys sound like a
Do you feel-
legitimate media outlet. So the ass randles when you blast beer up your beehole. And we're done.
Do you feel like this label is IP theft,
Or
or
I don't think
not
so.
on the nose enough?
No. It's a dinosaur, and it's 2 words.
Okay.
I
I don't
love-
think it is. I'm always interested in this. We did a Meeseeks juice, so
I love.
I
all the-
like that kind of
I
stuff.
love
that
that
shirt, too.
there's
I
a-
should have
Yeah.
worn that shirt.
Yeah.
There's an undercurrent of corporate justice warriors who are just like, hold on, that's intellectual property theft. What? Oh, da-da, to the rescue.
I think it's really akin to like brew pubs and breweries that opened and they're like, well, our street is called Green Street. This is Green Street IPA. I mean, people have always used like things around them as their beer names,
Yeah.
and I think like we're in a pop culture society.
If you're ripping off like a cereal box
Yeah.
and put Captain Crunch on your label,
yeah,
maybe you're going too far.
I don't give
Captain
a shit though.
Snunch
Like,
or something.
at some point,
But it is IP theft.
If you get a C&D from the place, then okay, well you knew what you did. But the people who are like offended on behalf, it's like, oh, God damn it, you're doing General Mills dirty. Like, go fuck yourself,
Yeah.
man. Like,
I wouldn't say
somebody
go
took
fuck
my
yourself.
art. Yeah,
you don't have anything better to worry about than if
I think your
fucking
reaction
some
to their reaction is a
corporation-
little over the top. Like their reaction is a little over the top. They're both. It's justified. I can see people getting upset because it's like you're just selling a label. You know, people want to buy it because look, this looks like Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy this, and it's except he's high, called Captain Kush.
Yeah.
You know, and so I get people like being concerned that people are just buying beers because of the hype and not the beer inside. But at the same time,
Is that the argument there?
I think the
Is-
corporations that own the IP should be the ones concerned, not the
Exactly.
people. I mean,
if you're the if you're the copyright lawyer for fucking General Mills, then be mad about Captain Crunch. If you're
I
a beer
agree.
drinker,
Yeah.
just be like, drink it or don't. Is
well,
it
I'm
good or
talking
not?
about a specific brewer
Yeah.
that I follow on Twitter that
There's a whole bunch
private.
of people who are just
Which I
like,
love. He's a great guy.
being like fucking IP vigilantes who are just like, oh, look at this, they put a Simpsons thing on there. It's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Craig
mean,
Berry does.
Yeah.
Who?
That's what I'm talking about.
Worst
Craig
beer
Goddamn
blog
Berry
cares.
keeps posting all sorts of fucking
Craig Berry.
Who?
dumb shit, and I'm like, knock it off. And I told him to knock it off. So
but he typically is reposting what people send him. He's kind of more of a
He's an aggregate.
yeah, like people get pissed off at something, and they say, I don't want anybody to know that I'm the one that's pissed off about this. Craig, can you please share it? So he's
the voice of the Brewers.
Yeah, he's definitely the voice. Like I don't know, like I don't know if he's the one that's actually posting all of
either
it.
way, whoever's mad about if they use The Simpsons on their label, just fucking leave it to Fox. They got lawyers for that.
I agree with you, but I also I can see why people would be upset about that. It's a weird thing.
If Dan Harmon punches Kip in the face, then you know
So
what? It's
this
his
was,
right.
This was actually an interesting thing. So we made Meeseeks juice. We had it available for a pretty long time. It was almost a year, and I mean it was like 8-9 months. And the team that made the show, like they loved it. Like they support like fan art. That was kind of what I was thinking. It was like less about IP theft and more about me wanting to get them the beer because I knew that they were in LA and I wanted
Plus
them
you
to
were
try
actively
it.
trying to get them.
Yeah,
to try
and
it.
I really
you weren't like
I love-
avoiding them. Like hopefully they don't.
Yeah, I love the show and I was just thinking like, oh man, like I'd love to get these guys the beer, and I got it to them. Like they drank the beer and I contacted the Rickmobile, which is the thing that goes around town and sells all the Rick and Morty merch, and that was where I went wrong. I contacted the Rickmobile, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll totally come to your brewery. We're gonna come on this date." And then like they clearly like had some person looking at our site and everything, and they were like, "On second thought, we're not coming to LA anymore." And then immediately we got a cease and desist thing. So I was like, "Oh, fuck." We could have.
so that's no longer a thing then.
Meeseeks juice? No. Like we got a cease and desist, and we don't make it anymore. we get to keep the name, but we have to redesign the label. I mean, I drew the label, and actually my wife did the like I did like a sketch. She put it on.
Yeah, you
on,
didn't rip off the artwork.
No, I mean,
made
it's
it was
such
inspired by Rick and Morty, but
it's blue. It's a cartoon mouth. I mean, like we drew the label, and anyway, it doesn't matter. Like they tasted the beer, they loved it, they thought it was great, and
Justin Roiland wouldn't do this. It was the goddamn Adult Swim lawyers.
well, yeah, it's true. But he actually like he's pretty sensitive about that stuff, and apparently he got a bunch of cans of Meeseeks juice and drank a bunch of them on the first record on a couple of the episodes on the new season. So that's what I've heard. That's the rumor, but that's all I wanted. I just want them to try it.
Dan Harmon just drinks vodka. So.
Yeah,
Big Harmontown.
yeah, little Harmontown.
well, Kip and Brian, thanks for coming down. I think we had some fun.
Absolutely.
It was a long drive, I'm sure, from the South Bay, South Bay-ish.
We
Is
laughed.
that South Bay?
We cried.
Is Hawthorne South Bay?
It's kind of technically South Bay.
Yeah.
Gets lumped in there.
It's far away from.
On
East-
the north
east-
end of it.
So.
Yeah, east of El Segundo, south
Bacon
of Inglewood.
slipping.
Every time I go to LA, I'm like, I'm in LA. I should go check out LA Works. And then I put it in my GPS, and it's like, that's 45 minutes away. I was like, fuck.
I'm not in LA.
I actually
I'm
end
not
up,
in LA.
I used to end up that way for work a lot. I have a site right in. Technically, it's not Hawthorne, but it's right there. It's like around the corner from where SpaceX and like the Eureka Burger and shit.
Gardena or
Fuck, I don't know. Like literally go a mile from SpaceX and all
Okay.
that, but it's the next city over. It might
Got it.
actually be Hawthorne, but either way. I used to go out there a lot, so I'd be like, oh, I guess I'll go to Monkish, or I guess I'll go to a bunch of shit while I'm over on this side of town.
yeah, come down. We got a lot of different beers on tap. I mean, we try to kind of span all the different styles. We like to experiment with different things. We got a lot of cool barrel projects, and some other stuff going on. So we have an anniversary on the 16th of February. So we're going to have a big block party with 80s theme arcade
Is
games.
that President's Day weekend?
I think we're
I think it
recording
is.
that day.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer. We're not
Yeah.
going to be there. But
Yeah, we're gonna have
congratulations.
some
Yeah.
library beers that we'll have out and pouring. And
Dope.
A lot of fun
Yeah.
stuff for people to come out and participate and whatnot.
If you seek some juice, you should go.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, thanks to Josh from Virginia for sending out these beers from
Those are good beers,
Triple
man.
Crossing. I mean, we're being super hypercritical on these beers. I mean, for the most part, they're all
great.
pretty, they're
Yeah.
all
They're
pretty solid.
I would-
yeah.
Honestly, outside of the second one, I would say all of these would be regular buys for me.
Yeah.
The
They're
second one
pretty
was
good.
kind of a little too sweet.
Really, really good beers.
Yeah.
So thanks, Josh, and thanks for the
Appreciate
support
sending
on Patreon. So
Anyone who sends us beer, you're the best, and we love you so much.
yeah,
So goddamn much, man. I fucking love you guys.
I love ya.
for some tears,
Don't ever leave us.
start crying. So if you want to find all of our social media links and shows and photos and whatnot, you can go to fourbrewers.com. You can go to supporttheshitoutofit.com to give us your money. Go to @4brewersshow on Twitter if you want to follow us or interact with us on Twitter. And on Instagram, we're @4brewers. Go to twitch.tv/4brewers to follow us on Twitch. That's where we stream all of our live sessions, and also where you can see myself and Greg play video games from time to time, if that's your thing. Leave only 5-star reviews on iTunes, and if you have something bad to say, hit us up at feedback@4brewers.com and brew the shit out of it.